Okay, in general now, we're going to talk about how to multiply a polynomial times a polynomial. A monomial times any polynomial is pretty much the distributive property. A binomial times a binomial, we did FOIL, or the 2x2 box. Here, you can have any size times any size. What I have is a binomial times a trinomial. This could be a binomial times a 4-term, or a trinomial times a 5-term. I mean, it could be anything. Okay? Right now I'm going to do kind of the distributive property way, so if you prefer the box method, you can fast forward through this part till you see me start to do the box here. So for the distributive property, what you're going to have to do is distribute the x to everything, and then go the other way and distribute the 7. If I distribute the x through first, x times 5x squared plus x times 4x plus x times 3. That's not too bad. Now you also have to distribute the 7 to everything. So 7 times 5x squared plus 7 times 4x plus 7 times 3. Multiply this, you get 5x to the third. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 3 is just 3x plus 7 times 5, that's 35x squared, plus 7 times 4x is 28x, plus 21. Now you have to go through and look and find your like terms. This is the only x third. Here's an x squared and an x squared, so that's 39x squared. 3x plus 28x is 31x. And then that's my only constant, so I leave that there. And that would be your final answer. Now, box method. If I want to do this box method, I have a binomial by a trinomial. That means my box has to be 2 by 3. So 2 by 3. I put the x and the 7 here, the 5x squared here, the 4x here, and the 3 here. And just like before, we'll multiply to fill in each box. So that's, remember that exponent is 1. So 5x squared times x to the first is 5x to the third. 7 times 5x squared is 35x squared. 4x times x is 4x squared. That's going to be 28x. 3 times x is just 3x, and 3 times 7 is 21. Again, you need to look for your like terms. Sometimes in the box, they're a little easier to see. So now, again, you have to write the problem out. 5x to the third plus, that's going to give me 39x squared, plus, that will give me 31x, and then my constant plus 21, and that would give you your final answer there. Okay, we'll do one more example here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do distributive property first, so if you're a box method person, you can fast forward through this part. If you're distributive property, you can fast forward through when I do the box method. This one is going to be a trinomial times a trinomial. Okay, I'm going to do distributive property here first. So now I have 3 that I have to distribute. The x squared has to be distributed, the negative 2x, and then the 2. So if I distribute the x squared, I'm going to take x squared times x squared plus x squared times 2x plus x squared times 2. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 2x in. This is going to get kind of long. Negative 2x times x squared, negative 2x times 2x, and negative 2x times 2. I hope that this will fit on the board, fit on the computer screen. And finally, I'll distribute the 2 through. 2 times x squared plus 2 times 2x plus 2 times 2. And it fits. Now we have to do each problem. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. That is 2x to the third. 2x squared, 2 times x squared is x squared. This is going to be negative 2x to the third plus negative 4x squared. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, and x times x is x squared. Plus, this will be negative 4x. This will be 2x squared. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4x, and 2 times 2 is just 4. Now I need to go through and look for my like terms. This is the only x to the fourth. If you want to cross it off, you can. 2x to the third and negative 2x to the third is going to give me 0. X to the third. Cross those off. Now I actually have 3 squareds here. So 2x squared plus negative 4x squared is negative 2x squared. And negative 2x squared plus positive 2x squared will give me 0. So there's a 0x squared term. Negative 4x plus 4x is 0x. And finally, I just have a 4. Now, all of these zeros mean that those are going to go away, because that's going to equal 0, that's going to equal 0, that's going to equal 0. And then x to the 4th plus 0 will just give me x to the 4th. So this is just x to the 4th plus 4 is going to be my final answer. Now I will do this box method. So for box method, my box is now going to have to be 3 by 3 because I have a 3 term by a 3 term. Okay, so my terms are x squared, negative 2x, make sure you understand that that's negative, and then a 2, x squared, 2x, and 2. Again, we're going to multiply to fill in each box. Again, these exponents are 1. So x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. This is going to give me negative 2x to the 3rd. This will give me 2x squared. 2x to the 3rd, because x first times x squared is x to the 3rd. Negative 2 times positive 2 is going to give me a negative 4. X times x is x squared. And then this will give me 4x. 2 times 2 is 4. This will be 2x squared. 2 times negative 2 again is negative 4x, and 2 times 2 is 4. Again, I can find my like terms. I have 2x to the 3rds. There are 3x squareds and 2 here. So I have x to the 4th plus, well, 2 and negative 2 is just going to give me 0, so that's 0x to the 3rd. 2 and negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 and 2 is 0, x squared. Negative 4 and positive 4 will give me 0x, and then I just have the 4. These are going to end up being 0. Anything times 0 is 0, and then anything plus 0 is itself. So this is x to the 4th plus 4, my final answer. And so then it doesn't really matter what size. It could be, if this was a trinomial times a 5 term, I would do a 3 by 5 box. Either way, you're just going to follow the process to get the answer. So your homework, okay, we started with section 10.3, we skipped to 10.5, we're going to go back to section 10.4. So again, remember that you are, or make sure you are on the correct section. It is 10.4 now. 4 through 7 and 13 through 15. It won't be difficult, and there's not a lot of problems, but it'll probably take up quite a bit of paper by the time you either do distributive property out or that box method all the way out.